All right, it looks like Canelo versus Billy Joe Saunders has been announced for May 8th, making it official. Before I get into the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. It really helps me out. After you subscribe, hit the thumbs up because that helps me out a lot with the algorithm. And then hit the notification bell. That way you can get updated when I drop the newest content like this. With that being said, let's get into the video. All right, so Canelo is coming off of his one-sided mollywop of Yildirim. It was a corner stoppage, meaning that Yildirim's corner said that he could not continue to fight going into the fourth round after the third round ended. Canelo did what he did. I didn't think he was going to stop him that early. I thought he was going to be more methodical because Canelo has really grown in his way of attack. Like, he used to be very aggressive, come forward and just try to outmuscle you. Now he sets shots up. He's very defensively oriented, very good counterpunching. The way that he was catching Yildirim with the uppercuts was very nice. Hit him with the good one, too, that put him down on his butt. Canelo has improved a lot. However, when we look at Billy Joe Saunders, he degressed. Like, I don't really see the progression there. Yeah, he had a one-sided win over Martin Murray, but Martin Murray's pretty much over the hill. And you could argue he's probably been over the hill for the last couple of years compared to how he looked when he first came in. Now, in my opinion, Billy Joe Saunders hasn't really looked like Billy Joe Saunders since the Lemieux fight. When he fought David Lemieux, very good account of himself, very good fight. He just looked untouchable. However, the new Billy Joe Saunders, especially at 168, he looks slower. He doesn't look as fast to get his punches off. And that's going to play into Canelo's hand. Now, if this place would have taken place 4 years ago, I had Billy Joe Saunders the favorite to win because Canelo has struggled against very mobile boxing style fighters. Say Austin Trout, a Floyd Mayweather, a Laura, etc. It's the mobile guys like that stick and move that have really given him troubles. But what I've seen recently from Billy Joe Saunders is a guy who's not as mobile, who can't stick and move as well as he used to. Now, maybe he'll rise to the occasion and look like a vintage Billy Joe Saunders, but even if he does, I don't think he can beat Canelo. Canelo has grown so much and he has improved so much that it's night and day to the Canelo of 4 years ago that I said that Billy Joe I thought could beat. This new Canelo, his defense is so good and his counterpunching is so precise that it's even going to be very hard for a mobile stick and move style fighter to beat. Because when they do step in to let off that jab, to let off that straight, Canelo is very good at sidestepping, so lateral movement, and getting off shots and catching them before they can even get away. So at this point in time, in my opinion, it's going to take a better beef to beat him. That, like, maybe David Benavidez has a shot because he's got a lot of power. He's a big dude, but that's what it's going to take. It is going to have to take somebody bigger and possibly stronger than him to beat him. Billy Joe Saunders is taller. I don't know if he's bigger. And what I mean by bigger is where they're at outside of competition, because Canelo carries a lot of muscle, a whole lot of muscle, and Billy Joe Saunders is more soft body built. So his muscle density is very big and he's very strong. And if you look around his gym, you can see a lot of weight equipment in there. So it's apparent that they do train somewhat for power. They might not train for power like, say, I do, but they definitely put strength training in the way that they train. Again, I really see this being a very difficult fight for Billy Joe Saunders. And being that Billy Joe Saunders has been so mobile throughout his career, he's going to get caught in this fight. And I don't know how he's going to deal with being hit multiple times and how he's going to deal with getting frustrated. I haven't really seen a lot from Billy Joe recently, and I really think that Canelo is going to pretty much become undisputed pretty easily at the 168 division. The only thing that I could see, which won't happen because I know Plant won't give him the fight, is if David Benavidez can somehow get a fight with Plant before Plant gets a fight with Canelo, but it's too big of a risk, and they are not willing to lose that type of money that Canelo brings, because Canelo brings a tremendous amount of money to a fight. So how it's looking is come May 8th, like I said, he'll get Billy Joe Saunders, and then come sometime in September, he'll get Plant, and there should be no reason why Canelo doesn't become undisputed and unify all the belts of the division at 168. Once he does that, I do not know what his goals are moving forward from there. I really don't know where he goes. Does he stay at 168? Does he fight a Benavidez then? Does he fight a Charlo if Charlo's willing to move up? Does he go back up to 175 to fight Bivol, Better Beef? You know, honestly, I think Canelo can beat Bivol. I really do. Better Beef is the one that I'm more interested in, because it's a very hard fight, because Better Beef is so strong. He hits so hard that fight right there could be one that Canelo may not win. But that speaks to Canelo's greatness. That's what at this moment, that's what it's looking like it's going to take to beat Canelo. Because I don't think anybody else can do it. I really don't. I really don't think anybody at 168 below holds a candle to Canelo today. Canelo has just developed. He's too good. He's levels above these guys, like Yildirim learned. It's just, and his punch selection is so fluid, and it comes so fast without thought and without fear that I don't see these guys beating him. He is truly, every time he fights, you truly see new wrinkles being added to his repertoire. The dude is just amazing. He's good. I can't, regardless how easy the Yildirim fight was, Canelo deserves that, because from here on, it's undisputed, and I don't know who beats him. Canelo's a good fighter. And, you know, in my opinion right now, I know people will disagree here. I have Bud Crawford number one, but if Canelo goes on to become undisputed at 168, then he will definitely be my pound for pound number one within the next two fights. Even if Terrence Crawford goes on to beat Errol Spence Jr., Manny Pacquiao, I still would put Canelo above him, just because of Canelo's resume, opposition, and what he continues to do in the sport, and the way that I've seen him grow and how dominant he has become. A very good fighter again. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. I know this one was kind of long, but I mean, you got to make a long video when it comes to Canelo and how good he's looking. Thank y'all for watching. And don't forget, hit the thumbs up at the very least. Appreciate it.